What's up, PBLers? This is Nick, your commissioner, your god. You are joining me this afternoon for a match between our has-been champions, the Azalea Town Porygon-Zeds and the Saffron City Sneasels. Oh, I do have a battle invite showing up there. Let me get my co-host in here. Ring-a-ding-ding.
Hello.
Hello. Are you ready for this battle?
I'm so ready. This is our main attraction of the season, so I'm ready to see this matchup.
I'm telling Zeshe to also invite you, but I'm gonna...
He has done so.
He has
I am
done so.
here.
All right, we are here, so we're gonna switch sides.
All
real
right.
quick. Look at
So
this. Ban list versus the Great Wall.
So I guess we're jumping right into this. I'm gonna say there's a lot you can learn about the team just from team pre.
Yeah.
When Evan doesn't bring Colossal, he doesn't, and
He has no way to clear
Colossal,
hazards.
and
Well, I guess he can defog.
He can defog on Tornadus.
Mm-hmm.
But in this matchup, I think Tornadus would prefer to be offensive.
Yeah,
It's got the
definitely.
coverage, put on a lot of offensive pressure. So if he gave up a move slot for defog on Tornadus, it might be lacking in other areas. He also, but my point was that he doesn't have anything to set hazards.
Yes, this is true. He doesn't. He's not a hazard heavy team. He doesn't really rely on them at all.
Which is, yeah, well, he's set a good amount of hazards, but it's all been Colossal.
Yeah.
And if Colossal doesn't show up, he's likely not going to set hazards. He does have Dugtrio set hazards if he wants, but I don't see Evan doing that.
Yes.
And we don't see Dugtrio anyway.
Mhm.
So
And Zeshe definitely does have the setting capability with Hippo and Heatran on his side.
absolutely. So if Zeshe can win the hazard game without giving up too much momentum, it could be really beneficial for him. Hazards are really good, especially for Tornadus, because even though it has Regenerator, you can basically
I mean, if you can
almost
hit him for
nullify it.
yeah, I was about to say if you can hit him for 30%, and he has to take Stealth Rocks damage. On a switch out, he's not really gaining any. Like, he's gaining some health back, but he still took that Stealth Rocks damage ultimately.
Yeah,
So-
I think they're waiting. Yeah.
All right,
So
I let him know.
good to
Go ahead and kick it off. And we do have whatever Evan has decided to name his Big Ol' Shovel Hands or Mama Roach, what have you. The Golisopod, there it is, Mama Roach. He is taking
Right.
the old name.
That's an interesting lead.
I mean, it's a pretty safe, like, liquidation or something right here. Because
Yeah.
I don't think Heatran can straight OHKO. I don't think it has anything that can do that. But still, neither of them really want to take a hit from the other, seeing as Golisopod does not have great special defense. Doesn't really want to take
Yeah.
big hits from, a notorious special attacker.
Right, and another thing is,
He does go for the liquidation.
yeah, that doesn't do much.
Okay, and we see
Another
no
thing
Rocky
is-
Helmet.
Yeah, no Rocky Helmet.
And no
it's probably
leftovers.
It's probably got boots on.
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
And Evan didn't seem to bring any hazards, so that might be a wasted item. But
Pretty
it's better
much,
safe than
yeah.
sorry.
And
Another point I want to make is there's no Metacham on this team.
there is no Metacham.
Metacham is actually like a really big problem for Zeshe's
Good
team.
offensive threat.
Okay, we got sub lefties.
All right, Venusaur gets
Dimple.
to set up here. Yeah, what is this going to do to him?
Very interested in what Dimple can do to this.
I mean,
I don't think he gets
Yeah, I was
psychic
about to
or flying moves. He could just thunder wave it maybe. This might just be an annoying thing.
it could be a nice annoying prankster set. Because that's always fun. Everybody loves it.
Evan has been one to substitute really early, maybe a little too early, and he ends up losing out on that. Maybe he substituted a little early and not realizing Venusaur could just come in.
Yeah, because
But we'll see.
yeah, we'll see what he does here. I mean, doesn't he have an attack? No, he has an
Does-
attack that drops physical attack.
Yep. There it is. So like I said, he's got to
Ooh,
swap that
okay.
out.
But he does have
Sludge
that pretty
Bomb.
free switch in.
Sludge Bomb, whatever.
Can Aegislash get Psychic? If not, can it get Psycho Cut or something to that effect?
I don't think it does. It would just go for neutral damage. But we have Chief Beef here. We're going to see what kind of set this Aegislash is.
Shadow Claw, okay.
Physical set.
And there is the Rocky Helmet coming out. And Life Orb,
Rocky
so...
Helmet, Life Orb.
So he's
physical.
going to start
It
losing
might
a
be
lot
mixed.
of... Oh yeah, he always Well, he usually runs Shadow Ball if he can run a mix set.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't know
more
that he
likely a
has
physical set.
anything-
I mean, besides
Yeah.
Heatran, he's really not getting a burn. Or Zeshe is not getting a burnout, so it's pretty fair to run a physical set. Oh, we've got them Illuminasty. That's a good nickname. Illuminasty. That would not be sick. That would be disgusting. Sick is not the word. Disgusting is the word you're looking for, sir.
Evan says consider it considered.
Uh-oh.
So there's the rocks that we were talking about, and
now we'll see
Zeshe
what
hasn't given
he.
up too much momentum. I will say it's going to be a little more difficult for Chief Beef to switch into Aegis Slash in the future. If he gets one high roll, Chief Beef's in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, that did 20. I guess it did. We'll see.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of roll that initial one was and what kind of set this hippo is. Because if it's not super physically bulky, because I wouldn't be surprised if it was more specially bulky to possibly take on some special attacks. Ooh, that seemed like a interesting switch.
So
no, I mean, I guess he was maybe predicting the Scald.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty favorable switch for him. I think that is especially defensive Venusaur, because I don't think you take less than half from a decent. I think Zeshe and I did some mocks, and I put just enough investment to make sure I could easily do over 50 to Fizz Def.
To hit KO.
And that might have motivated some other investment.
Maybe is this possibly a choice band on Aegis Slash?
Well, Aegis Slash is shown like.
Oh, right, true.
So this is Life Orb Aegis Slash. The thing is, like I mentioned
well,
before,
no, it did not show. Oh, right, Life Orb. Life Orb, not leftovers.
He could.
There's my one thing I'm wrong about.
Zeshe could run a calc and see if he lives a Life Orb Shadow Claw and just try to recover this off.
Mm-hmm.
He could bring in Hippo, but like I mentioned before, things are gonna get lower. He's gonna have to take a turn to recover.
I mean, he could bring in Mandibuzz to resist the ghost.
Yep.
And take not that much damage anyway, because it's Mandibuzz. Or even if he wants to get real cheeky, you could bring in Porygon.
Porygon is very cheeky.
To be immune. But at the same
cheeky
time...
is definitely a word I'd use. We're bringing Porygon in right now.
But at that same time, Evan does need to be careful with that and make sure he's not just going into an immunity.
I'm just very interested in if Evan can do over half with just a Life Orb. I'm sure he could.
Probably.
It's just so strong.
140s, man. 140s are huge.
I'm sure Evan's taking the time to calc, so I can calc and get more insight on this.
He does switch into Tornadus. So do you get the sense this doesn't heal as much because of the sand? Now he does have...
That's fine, though.
The sand away, but
not as much
Venusaur is leaving here, though. Almost certainly.
Should be leaving.
Probably Heatran coming in. Oh, the Comfey comes in.
Lady Rainicorn. Okay, so he does bring Defog on Tornadus, which means
has probably a less offensive set.
Yeah, he's lacking some kind of he doesn't have knockoff U-turn and Hurricane and Taunt. You know, he's got to choose between some of those.
And picking that Defog does make sense.
Grass Knot for Hippo would have been nice to bring, but if Defog got a slot over that, then...
Ooh, it does throw down the Hurricane.
Yep. I have a feeling Evan was going to run Hurricane. That's a good...
I mean, it's a solid damaging move. As long as you can hit it, and he's usually had pretty consistent results.
Yep.
I mean, it is, what, 70% chance to hit?
Yeah, 70% chance to hit.
It's more likely than not. Yeah, more than likely it is going to hit, but as we see right there, it does not. So you got to roll with it.
But I mean, that's just what comes with running that move.
And does get the confuse on the hit.
Yep.
Okay, it is able to Calm Mind, which now means it can definitely take
It'll
another
definitely
one
take
of those.
Another one. Nice.
Oh, and
that
big
helps
drain.
Too.
Ooh.
Z move.
Does it break through? It survives, but now we just have to make sure it doesn't hurt itself and kill itself in confusion.
So Zeshe, if he's gonna keep this in, he should probably just recover, not Draining Kiss, because this thing Bird might switch out and regenerate some HP. The thing is, I don't think Rainicorn is even the first answer to this thing, which is good for Zeshe. I think Rainicorn was mostly here for a Medicham, and it's kind of more disposable.
Yeah,
that Medicham
because I mean, it can at least do some super effective priority damage against Grimmsnarl as well.
Yeah,
so that's
any priority is nice,
especially to get around that prankster.
And there's a circuitry over there
Yeah.
as well.
Big scary Zerk.
If he runs Blender Policy Zerk again,
I mean,
and gets
he
that
doesn't
speed, it
really
could be
have
pretty
to.
speedy.
His Zerk outspeeds everything on the side of the Zeds.
Yeah, but he might have. That's unfortunate.
Ooh, very unfortunate. Hurts himself confusion. Does not knock itself out because, you know, it's comfy.
But he can take some momentum here, I guess. It does suck that he hit himself.
Yeah, because that
It's
he
evident-
if
it's
he had
evident
used
Hurricane, apparently.
well, especially since he was he came first, you know, he's using a priority move, so it's some type
Yeah.
of healing.
It probably just would have been Synthesis, to be
I mean,
honest.
it would have killed it with Draining Kiss, I believe.
I don't think you want to go for that. You get
28%.
more healing out of Synthesis, so you guaranteed live another hit.
True.
And you might, if you think that kills, you might think Evan would want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to Draining Kiss into something that would do like an Age Slash or something.
True. We do get the Porygon 2 and the slow teleport.
Yep.
It's there.
Teleport is a move that should always be on Slowbro, honestly.
Yeah, now especially because that was always one of its issues in previous seasons before the teleport buff is it loved Regenerator, but you had to hard switch. And you want this thing to stay in and take a hit and then switch. So now teleport, letting him actually pivot, great change for him.
Yeah, honestly, teleport on Slowbro is, in my opinion, even better than teleport on Togekiss.
Or do you mean Clefable?
Or on Clefable,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't know why I said Togekiss.
It's because you have Togekiss. It's on the brain, man.
Yeah.
He's taking
Yeah,
a
and
long
I've
time
never
to.
used it.
He's taking a long time thinking of who he's gonna bring in. So
Yeah,
I mean, he does have to be afraid of Thunderwave.
right.
So
One of the tough
no one
things-
really wants to get paralyzed except for, I guess, Zerk, because
I
it
think
can't.
one of the tough things is the coverage that Porygon 2 can have is pretty expansive.
Normal types
And
get a
all-
lot of interesting coverage.
And I know one set that was a little threatening would have been like a Calm Mind Slowbro set, but if it's got Teleport, it's likely not a Calm Mind setup set.
Because we have seen Psychic and Teleport now, so you're starting to run out of
Yeah.
move slots. It could be Calm Mind, Teleport, Psychic, Scald. Possibly.
Yeah, but he doesn't have slack. He doesn't have slack off.
True.
He has to leave to get his HP.
Yeah, that's
So-
true. Okay.
All right, he chooses Grim Snarl. Honestly, probably one of the better switches you could choose.
Because he does get the priority, so he can just set up subs,
He
not get
does.
paralyzed.
But I don't think a sub would.
No,
stay
yeah, I was
up,
about to say, I
and
think
don't
Pep Bite
think
can kill it
Dimple-
with Tri Attack.
Yeah, easy.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
So that was a.
you might even kill from here if that's analytic, which I assume it is.
Oh, yeah, there was
love
no
analytic
Trace.
over Trace. Yeah,
Trace can be fun for if you're going up against a team that has really interesting or advantageous abilities. Absolutely.
it's more niche, but with analytic, you just hit so hard so that Porygon is so much less passive.
Mm-hmm. Because I've used Porygon 2 on ladder and stuff before, and some people just get obliterated by it because they can't kill it, and you can consistently do 30-40% to pretty much everything that doesn't resist your attacks. You just have like Ice Beam and Tri Attack, hit everything.
And what I'm looking
Except
at
steel
right now
types.
is what is Evan gonna break this Porygon? To be honest,
I mean,
he's gonna have to. It's gonna have to be a joint effort between several. Pokemon
Yeah,
to
he'll
break
probably
this
have to
Porygon in my mind.
chip it down a little bit, and Aegislash can probably kill it if it's got like close combat. I think we've seen before that can kill it actually.
I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I don't think Grimmsnarl has knockoff, so that's not something he's worried about.
Try
And I
attack.
don't.
Ooh.
Oh, he's actually
Ooh, that was close.
a critical hit. Spirit Break. Okay. Nice crit.
So yeah, only 27% on that hit. So that was just enough to be breaking those substitutes.
Yeah. Well, he went first. If he's analytic, it'll
Oh.
do even more.
True. So this is a slow Dimple with priority, which I guess makes
Yeah.
sense. You can run those really slow sets.
Yeah. I almost wonder if Zache could have just run a speed lowering nature.
Mhm.
And find like this analytic. If he hit right here, that would have been an analytic hit, and it would have.
Okay.
I guess he had the special tap
Yep,
drop.
there
but-
is the knockoff. That was almost. Oh, he has Shed Shell, so he was prepared for the Dougies.
the Dougie.
It makes sense. It
Okay.
makes sense.
And we see the moves it's got. So it's got Hurricane knockoff, Defog, U-turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be breaking a whole lot of things. He relies
It's
on
more
Hurricane
utility.
to break.
Mm-hmm. But it now is pretty much back at full health after 2 switches.
Yeah.
Scald goes, does not burn.
No burn.
Oh, do we maybe have... Okay, I was about to say, is he going to run something crazy like a zap cannon?
All right, teleport out.
Who does he... I think we saw in a previous match that only, like, choice-banded close combat has the chance to OHKO the Porygon 2, and this is Life Orb, so, okay. If it's a... Well, we know it's not Z-Move. It's not Z-Hypnosis. It's not Z-Electric Terrain. Since we already have a Z-Move out of Tornadus.
Right. It can be regular Hypnosis if you wanted, but it can't be Z.
I mean, it could be Blunder Policy, like you said before as well. Energy Ball, not doing much.
I was gonna say another thing is that analytic.
Big try attack. Big try, dude.
Another thing is Xurkitry's coverage is actually not that great.
I mean, you usually just run that huge electric damage for, big stab damage in terrain if you can get it. So
we're seeing what I was mentioning is Evan's struggling to find what's breaking this.
Looks like he's kind of testing the waters, but
Slowbro just keeps coming in, taking a hit, and then regenerating out. I mean, it's a free switch here if he wants to lose this. And now Zashay knows that Bird has nothing to hit Flame Princess. Yeah, so he can go for Big Fire. I mean, it probably doesn't have too much except for maybe Earth Power to hit Slowbro, and even that's not going to do that much. Gallisapod does come in, does take the Earth Power. Okay, he takes the Earth Power.
Okay, and now...
I probably would have set up rocks in that position personally.
Mandibuzz, as we've seen. Ooh, Spikes, so I guess he does have other hazards. I forgot about that.
Okay, Spikes. Sure.
So this isn't like a banned set.
I mean, that's fine, but the switch-in is Marceline anyway, so those Spikes can just immediately be defogged right now.
Yep, just roosting. That makes sense. Gotta keep yourself healthy.
Chooses. We know knockoff.
Doesn't matter. It's going to knock off Boots. Hurricane misses. U-turn. There you go. Pivot right in its face.
So he is going to have to deal with these spikes, though. I don't know if Chief Beef takes a Hurricane.
I think it depends on both sets. I think this is more of a balanced set on Hippo. So it's probably got a decent amount of special defense.
Let me think. This is gonna be another slow mat.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of it's slow because Zashay's doing what his team does is figures out what the other team's trying to use to counter it, and then it doesn't get the burn. Ooh, this is it's a strong Slowbro. He may be maybe like HP and special attack.
That's what I was saying. When we did mocks, I invested a little in special attack because that's what you need to get to get KOs. Venusaur.
Scald.
So it
does get the burn.
It happens. He gets the burn.
So burn really and sand.
Other than like annoying chip.
Well, I mean, burn and sand is definitely a problematic. Ooh, not doing that much.
I definitely would have recovered there.
Yeah, because now at the end of this turn, sand, burn. This is definitely going to be in KO territory.
You'll be under half. And an Aegis Slash with close combat is pretty spooky.
Yeah, because nothing really wants to come into that. Venusaur especially sitting at like what, half HP?
Yeah,
something like
a
that.
lot of his walls are chipped right now, which is.
I mean, Mandibuzz is at full health.
Peppa's around half.
Hippo's back at full.
Venusaur's at Hippo's at half.
Okay, so still gonna try for that knockoff here so that he can't recover. Makes sense. Makes sense. E-Train comes in, takes the spikes, takes the U-turn.
I'm gonna say Zashay probably should just call his bluff on one of those turns and just
stay in, recover,
big attack, or recover or throw out a big attack. One thing he could do, he might not feel he has the time to do that, but one thing he could do is see if he can still tank hits relatively well without Eviolite on.
True. Yeah.
If he can get a lot of damage on Bird, like if he can Thunderbolt when Bird's in and get a lot of damage off on it, is that worth it at that point?
Yeah, right to take that knockoff.
Bird was really low.
And now it's max HP again.
Yeah, until it just kept coming in and out in front of Zeshay's
and especially since he hasn't been able to get Stealth Rocks back up. The Zerk does come. Zerk can probably pick up a KO here with Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. But I think what's Porygon at? It's too low, I think.
Yeah, it's at around, especially once it takes, ooh, and that's going to KO. Beast Boost, but doesn't matter.
But he switched. So no Heat Train to switch in anymore. Zashe's got to start making...
Yep, and now Tornadus has a pretty free come in. Because now it can Hurricane as long as it hits. It'll hurt Venusaur, probably KO it. It'll probably... it won't KO Hippo because he's back at full.
You just got to bring in, honestly, just bring in
Porygon
and Thunderbolt. Or
recover, maybe, to get himself back up. Does get knocked. Does recover.
And then you got a Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, Thunderbolt hits...
Switch out.
Nope, he does get it. He does get the confusion.
Yep.
Big Tri-Attack, but now you are in danger of hurting yourself in confusion and getting KO'd. So Hurricane does miss, does go for the recover. He is safe again.
Go for Thunderbolt, actually. Okay.
I mean, it hits everything except for Zerk.
Yeah.
Neutral to super effective.
That's what I was going to say.
Hurricane does
you don't
go.
Really lose a whole lot if he hits himself here.
Maybe he doesn't have Thunderbolt. He is again in KO range.
Tri-Attack, recover, foul play.
Yeah, what's
if
his
he
fourth?
hits himself? If he hits himself here, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, he's very much in danger because, I mean, we have seen it outspeeds Grimmsnarl, probably outspeeds Slowbro, does hurt itself. So as long as it outspeeds Slowbro, it can recover. As long as it doesn't hurt itself in confusion.
Faster. So he's got one more chance. All right.
Recover. All right. Teleport. That's fair. Now, does he bring in something that can actually kill it?
Probably Tornadus again, and just keep regenerating health between the two.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
That's his team's MO.
Yeah, between these two, he's been able to just keep recovering and bring themselves back up to full consistently, especially without hazards.
Which is why I was saying just Thunderbolt if you can do it.
I think this Volt Switch kills. Since it does not have Eviolite anymore?
I don't know. I think he might take one.
Ooh, very close. But does he just recover?
I hope he did.
Or does he go for the KO?
I hope he recovered.
He does recover, okay. And he knows he can take these as long as he doesn't get confused.
Yep. And
hurt himself. Hurricane hits. Does confuse again, but he does recover. And when they hit...
I know he's missed a fair amount.
I think he's missed 2, but the other 4 that have hit have 3 of the 4 have confused.
I think, 3 of the 4 have confused.
But I mean, this makes sense as Ashley's doing this because he has to right now. Because if he loses Porygon, it forces or it allows Evan to have a lot of free attacks because things can't really switch into stuff.
If he loses his Porygon, he loses. Yeah, he just loses.
Golisopod does come in.
Lot.
Does recover. So we've seen Golisopod throw down Liquidation.
That's nice.
It could also have First Impression for just a nice huge priority, even though it doesn't really need it. That could also stop Analytic from proccing since it will attack first.
Man, I wish he had Thunderbolt on this thing.
Yeah, that would be very powerful. I mean, we've only seen 3 moves, right?
Yeah, we've only seen 3. I don't know what the 4th is, but if he's waited this long to click Thunderbolt,
it's probably not Thunderbolt or Ice Beam or anything like that. Still try attack.
Ooh,
does get a burn.
Big.
But more spikes are up.
Emergency
exit. The burn takes him down.
He can't leave these spikes up.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of them. Otherwise, Hippo and I mean Venusaur is already in trouble, but with 2 layers of spikes, it is in even more trouble.
I mean, Venusaur's at 8.
Oh right, it did. It used Synthesis. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Hippo is the one in trouble.
Didn't he slack off and get back up to full?
No, he's at 40%.
Oh, I must be thinking of a previous time that he slacked off.
Yeah. And Mandibuzz is, I think, Mandibuzz is full. So man, if Mama Roach just lived just over half, and he could bring in Mandibuzz and defog those.
I think the issue that Zashe might be running into soon is he's running out of attackers. I mean, Venusaur can still hit pretty hard. We've seen with these analytic boosts, Pepite can hit pretty hard, but I mean, I guess Hippo might be able to throw down some EQs, but
a Thunderbolt would be doing so much right now. I mean, the only switch in is Circuitry, and an analytic boosted Thunderbolt is still going to do a fair amount when Circuitry only has 40% left.
Yeah, and it's not known for its defenses.
And if he try attacks here, oh, he can't.
But Life
So,
Orb.
yeah. So we know it's physical. If he's got physical Mandibuzz, that can come in.
This is true. Because, yeah, he can't hit for... I don't think he gets any electric or anything. Foul Play does not do much. Oh, right, because stance change. And that will KO for sure.
Yep, stance change. Just how H/Slash works. Mandibuzz, I think, was the switch.
Mm-hmm. Because it would have taken neutral damage from that, and if it's a physically defensive one, it would have eaten it. Especially since it's at full health, and it's not going to get hit by spikes, so it's coming in at full health.
Yep, and I think Mandibuzz comes in here. He can take the time to defog, or he can U-turn out. But
I think Zacier is starting to run out of ways to stop the recovering core that Evan's got going.
I mean, he wasn't totally stopping it anyway.
U-turn, not doing too much, but I think Venusaur can come in here. Yeah, does take a chunk, but
I don't know why he's not bringing Mandibuzz in.
I guess he's maybe not too concerned about.
Sorry.
Yeah, he did, and then U-turned immediately, and then Venusaur came in.
Yep. So Venusaur can get off a little Giga Drain.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, nobody really wants to switch into it. I mean, Torn could. Aegislash, we've seen, can take a couple of those. It doesn't do too much damage.
If he wants, he can Sludge Bomb, but
yeah. Sludge Bomb would hit. I mean, it would probably kill Zerk. It would do a good chunk to... Oh, he does just get the big Giga Drain for a nice chunk of healing.
That's good. And he lives this.
And also with that, it did 55%, so he recovered a good chunk of it. All right, so that is 4 for 5 on hits, and I think he's 5 for 7 on landing, or maybe 6 or 5 for 8.
He might have. I don't know.
U-turns.
He's landed most of them, and he's confused almost every single.
Yeah, he's on one of them that's hit. That one did not confuse.
See, that damage makes me think this is Fizz Def, which further makes me say he really should have brought this in on that close combat on him.
And saved his Porygon.
Even though Porygon didn't have Eviolite on, it was so good for his team.
Well,
and Zashay's just got to fight like almost every turn about this confusion. He's gonna get hit with a Spirit Break here. But...
Yeah, well, if he's faster, since we know this is a very slow Grimmsnarl, he can U-turn here.
Yeah,
and I'd say that's a pretty safe play. That's true.
He just
so is that
keeps
risk.
Confused.
And if he brings in something like Venusaur's still going to lose special attack because of Spirit Break. Critical hit again. That's 2 of them.
Another crit.
He can Earth Power. Yeah. Because Earth Power should be enough to kill here and hit the Aegislash if it switches in.
I just think if Bird comes in, that's a wasted turn.
Darkest Lariat.
I think Recovery was better. And Evan's just going to make sure that Venusaur at least has 30% chipped off of it. Well, he could Giga Drain and get some of his health back.
True, but I'm thinking more of the Earth Power to hit, like kill Aegislash if it decides to come in. It'll kill Dimple. Yeah. It'll kill Xurkitree. It'll do a decent amount to Slowbro. It depends on what he thinks he needs most right here.
Yeah. I just don't know that Aegislash is coming in at 28%. Torn could come in, but see what sucks is this special attack drop. If Torn comes in, Mandibuzz has to come back out. If this Venusaur walls Xurkitree,
absolutely,
even if he's got like HP flying, which is like the best thing he can hit Venusaur with, he's not doing.
Yeah, he's not doing enough. Not even close. Yeah. So Bird does come back in.
So he can bring Mandibuzz in and kind of repeat this process and hopefully not get confused on this Hurricane.
Yeah, that's what he's really got to hope for. Mandibuzz comes in, U-turn for the pivot, makes sense. Fine. But who comes into... never mind. I mean, Hippo if he's expecting the Volt Switch.
Energy Ball, Hippo...
T-Bolt, yep. And that is...
Good lord.
That's KO range. This'll KO unless he brings in...
That damage?
Yep, that's a KO.
He should have waited. Because that's a lot of damage. That's probably Specs, and he probably could have brought Hippo in.
Yeah. I mean, I assume that's what he would have been going for.
He should have slowed down. He picked his move too fast.
We get a slack off right here. Yep. But what does Chief Beef do to Slowbro? He's already
No.
toxicked him.
Just toxic stall it.
And we've seen he takes about 50% from those scalds.
Yeah.
Slack off
Man,
again.
I think that shit got a little rattled there and clicked the move too
Ooh,
fast.
that one did even more damage than the last one.
Yeah.
I think the last time he must have got a very low roll. I mean, he can bring in
thing is,
Zerk for an
it's not-
energy ball here.
The thing is, he's just not gaining a whole lot of ground right now.
Yeah.
Circuitry, I mean, that's got to be specs. It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if he just slowed down and saw that, Hippo is a free switch.
Yeah. I mean, I would have assumed that was the switch anyway, because you just bring it in. You either lose Hippo or you lose Venusaur, and I think Venusaur was his biggest offensive threat left on the team.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no way he does that damage without choice specs.
And now the thing is, the energy ball will certainly kill him. It won't kill Mandibuzz, but he can pretty freely just throw down. Okay, he does throw down the energy ball.
Yep.
I was expecting him to just go for it, because he knows the Mandibuzz is coming in.
This game's gonna come down to. This game might end up coming down to Evan having to just like call a bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Choose between Thunderbolt and Energy Ball correctly one.
No heavy duty
So then
boots,
that
but
would be
those don't matter. We know that.
Yeah. Hippo comes.
But what does Hippo have? If it's got to have Stone Edge or Ice Fang, otherwise Bird wins this fight. I guess it does have Toxic. Ooh, Stealth Rocks. Okay, but Chief Beef has no item. It can't recover in the face of this thing unless Hurricane misses.
That was a bad play, if I'm just being honest.
Ooh, okay, so
Because
Hurricane does miss.
This can come in and defog now, but I think that was a play just saying it's all on Mandibuzz at the
Hurricane misses again, but
okay.
Knock.
We're getting some comeuppance.
so, is that all? Does it have just Knock, U-turn, Defog, Roost? Yeah. Again with the confusion.
If he lands, it just confuses. Just expect it.
Yeah. And at this point, yeah, I mean the Hurricane misses, but hurts itself in
At least he's
confusion,
missing a
which
fair amount,
means
but he hurts himself in confusion.
and
so
and
it's still
okay,
free.
misses
Let's
again.
go.
Confusion ends.
Let's
Is
go.
able to
It's
roost.
just so much wild shit.
You just
Hurricane,
gotta
what a wild
you
move.
gotta go on those. When it hits, it confuses, and when it misses, it's huge. You turn for the momentum. Did you just go for Roost to make sure he's in good health, or
He
did
can
go for the knock?
off.
Big knock.
He can knock again.
Yeah, knock will
The thing is,
kill
Evan
at this
should
point. I think.
Evan should just sack allow.
Does he go for the
He
slow
U-
U-turn?
U-turn.
Doesn't matter. It's literally down to Mandibuzz now.
He should have just knocked.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
thing,
and this is
yeah.
it's a free Thunderbolt, and this is the win. So
Yeah.
there we go. That's gonna be a victory for the Sneasels, a hefty victory. Of
Zesh's had some misplays in there.
yeah, I think the biggest one was sacrificing Porygon when he should have brought in Mandibuzz. I think if he had kept Porygon and gone for the switch into Venusaur, I think both of those were kind of his call of, do I think he's just going to go for the KO, or do I
Yeah.
think he's going to try and switch
I gotta
out?
see. I just gotta see what Tornadus Hurricane is doing to Mandibuzz. Because if that was a Fizz Def Mandibuzz, that's got it. Tornadus. Yeah, Tornadus Hurricane doing as much as it did means that was physically defensive Mandibuzz, and a physically defensive Mandibuzz from a Life Orb is taken. Let's see. I know it's going to be less than half.
Mm-hmm. But
It's going to be comfortably less than half.
well,
It does like 40%.
sometimes you gotta guess on those sets if you don't know the calcs off the top of your head, and if you're not running them. So we
I think
see.
it's just some gambles.
Yeah, like I said, it was, I think the Porygon and the Venusaur, those were ones where it was his call of either, are they gonna go for a switch, or are they just gonna throw down an attack again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
But
don't know. I also want to know what that fourth move on Porygon was.
yeah, we'll have to find out. But thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get Evan in a call here so we can hear some words from him. But
all right.
we'll
I'll catch you later.
talk to you later. All right, let's get Evan in this call. Ring a ding ding. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You have cemented yourself as not just a has-been champion, but a still champion in your victory
yeah.
against the Great Wall. How does it feel?
It feels very good to get some revenge on the person that bumped me out of playoffs last time to claim the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that Zach and Zache are their respective rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, my rival is Cheryl.
Of course.
But my second tier rival would be probably Zache. So it felt good to be able to get the win against him.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you were. He has a whole team built around the concept of recovering and tanking hits, and you look like you were able to achieve that with pretty much just 2 Mons between Tornadus and Slowbro, both of them regenerating, and with the teleport and the U-turns, you can keep cycling those two nearly endlessly, as we saw.
Yeah, it was super gross. Being able to just use regen to heal gives me turn advantage while he has to spend a turn to heal. So obviously it put me in a good position. The Tornadus used up so many those hurricanes to find the match.
Yeah,
in their
I think you probably threw down like 12 of them, and I think probably about 6 or 7 hit. 5 or 6 of those, however many, one less than however many hit confusing.
Yeah.
And then everything else missing. It was a lot of it came down to those hurricanes. If they hit, they pretty much always confused. If they missed, it gave a chance for somebody to do something to bird.
Yeah. It was actually, I used all 16 of my hurricanes.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It really came down to it.
I want to look back and count how many misses I had and how many confusions I had.
So yeah,
because I felt like there were a lot of both.
If you used all 16, I'm guessing it was probably 6 or 7 that missed.
Yeah.
So that would mean 9 or 10 hit, and if 9 or 10 hit, it would probably be 7 or 8 that confused them.
It was a lot. Yeah, Tornadus has been huge for me this season, and he has great matchups against Zache up and down the whole roster.
Yeah, even though it was only on the offensive side. Well, I mean, I guess you had knockoff, U-turn, and Hurricane, but U-turn was basically just for pivot. You're not hitting anybody on his team super effectively with it.
Yeah.
Knockoff was that you're not hitting anybody super effectively. You're just knocking off an item. So it really was all about the Hurricanes.
I was most pleased, though, with Killua, my Xurkitree.
Killua. Yeah.
That boy being able to 2-hit KO the Venusaur at about 60%. I'm curious to see if that was a low or a high roll the first time and the second time.
Was that a spec set?
That was Specs Modest.
That's,
max special.
Ooh, there you go. That's what we thought. Especially because looking at the match from the start, 85 speed? He outspeeds everything on... Right, it has to be a prime number. So it outspeeds everything on his team that he brought this week. So, yeah. I mean, unless he ran a very fast Mandibuzz or like a Choice Scarf Heatran, you outspeed everything pretty easily.
Yeah, I was actually afraid of Scarf Heatran earlier in the match.
I mean, yeah, it could definitely do some damage. And
because his team's so slow that you always got to kind of anticipate maybe someone's going to be bringing the Scarf. Is it going to be Scarf Latios or Scarf Heatran?
Speaking of things being slow, we did see that your Grimmsnarl undersped his Porygon to be able to not get procced by the analytic boost of its attacks. So
the analytics scared me at first because I don't see the trace and I don't see the download. I know it's analytic. My first thought is, oh god, this is a slow Choice Specs Tri-Attack Blaster, and
it absolutely can be.
Thankfully, it was not. It looked to have almost no special attack investment. I think,
but it's still doing enough.
It was still doing enough for sure, and it was such a nuisance. There's this fear in the back of my mind that any of his walls were just gonna stall out any offense I had and just turn the tables on me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tornadus getting those confusions did definitely help stop that from happening, and at the same time, him missing on the Hurricanes let them recover and keep things going back.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely a huge match. There were Zach and I were talking about 2 pretty big plays that were either misreads or just miscalculations on Zache's side. So leaving in Porygon to take that superpower, we were saying he probably could have brought in Mandibuzz. It probably would have taken it just fine and then threatened easily. And then also on the Venusaur, like he could have pretty like if you went for Energy Ball on the Venusaur and he stayed in, okay.
Yeah.
But if you went for Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, Hippo's immune. And he could have brought in Hippo totally for free, healed up, and kept the game going in his advantage. But I think both of those were either a lack of a read or him just not really sure what you were going to go with, so kind of just had to play it safe.
I'm guessing he knew it was Specs from the first Energy Ball I threw out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a feeling that, well, I was going to go first turn read Energy Ball. Either I OHKO the Hippowdon, or I scare Hippowdon from wanting to hard switch in. And it seemed like it was the latter. He didn't want to take the risk of it being another Energy Ball. Mm-hmm. And that really played to my advantage.
Yeah, well, as we see, a big victory. Like, a lot of your team was chunked down, so Xurkitree was low, Aegislash was low, Galistopod was less than half.
One burned, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty much down to, I mean, the wall, just the core of those two regenerators was able to just chip down his team enough that in the end, yeah, they couldn't keep switching into hits for too long. So, let's see, what's your match next week for week 11? Let's have a quick look at that. Week 11, it looks like you are going to be facing off against the Dunsparce. So good old ladder sets. Are you ready for the ladder sets?
I wonder if he wins this week, do I still not clinch playoffs? Because if so, then I truly have destiny in my own hands next week against Chris.
I'm not sure. I'll have to consult with some other people, but I know you were very close to clinching that just because since he was so low in the standings before he got another win, it was such a disparity between you and him that it looked nearly impossible for him to go. But especially right now, you did just get a 5-6 victory. That's going to be a huge boost to your already substantial differential lead. So I think you might be in clinching position. I think at this point it is nearly impossible for somebody to pass you up or bump you out at the very least.
The 1 seed is so useful going into the playoffs, so I definitely can't take my foot off the brake.
Oh, absolutely not. You got to keep going full force. All right, well, congratulations on the big victory. You beat the Great Wall. You tore it down.
All right, well, thank you.
All right, we will talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right, that is going to do it for our bonus match for the week. Tonight is actually going to be our feature match. We were going to do a different one, but it was just not a good scheduling time. So tonight, join us for a PBL After Dark match where we have the Weather Wars going on. So our Rain Sand combo versus the Soggy Boy himself, Dan the Man Rainboy. We will see how that match goes, and we'll see how all of us survive it tonight, because it's an After Dark, which, if you know what that means, you know what it means. But otherwise, do the thing with the buttons. As I always tell you to, as I command you to. Press the buttons, do the things, but also listen to our beautiful outro.